The men's first semi-final is between Catalonia and the Netherlands. Please welcome to the stage first, a former Catalonia and FCD Anniversary Open champion from Catalonia, Carles Arola! And Carles' opponent is from the Netherlands. He is the reigning Dutch Open and Swedish Masters champion. Please welcome Bionic Barry van Peer!
Bo Greaves and Dieter Hedman are ready for the women's final here in Granley Hockey Arena in Esbjerg. But now we have to find out who will participate in the men's final. This is the first semi-final. In front of the camera here, Barry van Peer from Holland, and from Catalonia, Carles Arola. One of the very big surprises in this tournament so far, but also a player who has been extremely consistent throughout the tournament. And we spoke briefly about it yesterday, but a player who I didn't know anything about, but I am certainly aware of who he is. Today, after that brilliant performance in the quarterfinals yesterday, Andrew, I mean, there's no doubt that Barry van Peer is the favorite for this match, but do you see a scenario where Arola actually makes his way into the final?
I think so, because, you know, he was the underdog yesterday against Hopai Puha of New Zealand, but what Arola did tremendously well was he held his own throw. You know, the legs against the darts, he wasn't great. But he held his throw every time, and then he got one break at the end and won 5-3. And I don't see why he can't do that here. Yesterday he showed the scoring power. He showed the finishing ability. And I actually, I did a little bit of research after watching him yesterday. And I saw that he'd gone over to America to play in the Bull Shooter tournament on ESPN, which is a big soft tip competition, and he'd actually lost in the final of that to Alex Spellman, who is obviously
a very good player.
Yes, someone who's progressed rapidly on the American scene. He's going to be playing at Alexandra Palace later this year. And you know, I saw on the stream yesterday, Alex had commented that, you know, Carles Arola was actually someone that, you know, when he played him at the Bull Shooter in the final, you know, he said just an absolutely lovely guy and a quality player. So, you know, that's probably why he's a surprising name to a lot of people. I didn't know a huge amount about him either. Probably because he's a soft tip veteran. You know, as a lot of players in you know, that corner of Europe, Spain, Portugal often are.
Jose de Sousa is, of course, the main profile in that part of Europe, at least, who has made the way from the soft tip scene and then become a familiar face in the steel tip department. But it's a huge ask to beat a Barry van Peer who has started this match very good.
Yeah, it comes a little short on that shot at 120, but Carles not on a finish yet. This is against... Oh, no, this is on throw. So, yeah, this is where he was very strong yesterday, but not really able to make a breakthrough yet at the moment. So here comes Barry. Just takes a second to compose himself before his first start. And finds it. 16 darter to open the match for the Dutchman known as Bionic. It's really good. After the struggles he's been through, the well-publicised struggles that Barry's been through with dartitis, it's been really good to see him on this kind of road, getting back to his best. Off the PDC circuit at the moment, he's had a really successful year on the Challenge Tour, but also on the WDF. He won the Dutch Open, which is the hardest Open in the world to win, arguably the hardest competition in the world to win. And he also won the Swedish Masters a little over a month ago. So he's played some really good stuff this year, and he seems happy in himself with how he's playing and been an integral part of this Dutch team. And he'll be hoping to do well here. And of course he, alongside Jelle Klaassen, Ryan de Vrede and Wesley Plaisir will be a very fearsome quartet in the men's team final later on today. But Arola filling up the treble 20 bed, a 140 there. He's got a bit of an advantage now in this leg, Arola, which, he will, he's an experienced man, as you can tell from the grey beard. He knows he's seen a thing or two on a dartboard. But Berry is a power scorer. And that's, I guess, the main worry is can Arola live with that? But so far in this leg, he's certainly proving he can.
There's no doubt that he has the potential to do it. We have seen him in this tournament alone record a 98 average in the last 32 in his 4-0 victory against Stefan Belmont. We haven't seen him, of course, do that in a 11-leg format, but we know that he has the game, but it may need to be even better because Barry van Peer has come out firing so far.
Yes, and now he's down to 30 after 12 darts. This is an imperious start from the Dutchman. I wonder if he does go straight for the double 15 or he elects to split this to make it a little bit easier. Oh, one of our officials fell over. That was good. Goes straight for it and he finds it first time. Why would you split when you can do that? 16 darter, 13 darter. Van Peer leads 2-0 in this semi-final, which is the first to 6 legs, just like the ladies' semi-finals we saw a little earlier on. I mean, being at this stage is a huge milestone for Arola personally, but also for Catalonia. They never won a medal in a World Cup before, so his win yesterday was a massive moment for them. And, I think they're on course. I was on commentary yesterday with Jacques Nulat talking about this because of his performance, and his teammate Raoul Invernon got to the last 32 of the men's singles, and they also progressed from their group in the team event. It looks like they're on course for their best ever overall finish in the men's category, which obviously is a huge milestone for them, and it really shows. Another 180 for Van Peer, second of the final. It really shows the ability of the World Cup, as a platform for these countries that, it doesn't matter where you're from. The open draw gives you opportunities and allows you to write history. We've seen a number of countries write history this week. We spoke about it earlier. Mongolia, Egypt won their first ever medals. Austria won their first ever medal in the men's pairs. And, Catalonia, Mr. Arola has helped them to do the same. And a big 140 there takes him down to 131. But Van Peer will have a shot at 161.
He needs a couple of trebles here. Now treble 13 for double 16 for a brilliant 131 finish.
Wasn't far away, Arola, but Van Peer will be back for 72 to see if he can continue his electric start to this final here in Esbjerg.
He's got a lot of options here. That leaves double 12.
Unable to be as clinical as he was in the first 2 legs, which means Arola returns for 3 darts at 16. And he busts it, drops low, not able to punish, and unfortunately for the man from Catalonia, they are the kind of chances you have to take.
Especially considering that this could be the second break of throw in this match already, with Barry van Peer having the chance to get in front 3-0. Now double 6.
Finds it with the second out, 3-0 to the Dutchman, halfway to victory. I know I said that in the last game and turned out not to be the case. So I'm not going to predict anything too much in this one. But here goes Van Peer with throw in the fourth leg. But just for the people watching along at home, Daniel, what can you tell them about the city of Esbjerg? What's the city famous for here in Western Denmark?
Well, there's just a few meters from where we are placed right now, of course, a great football stadium for the local football side, Esbjerg, who for a lot of years played in the top tier. Everyone expects that they will be back at some point in the future. But other than that, Esbjerg has a great history of being a city of industry, especially fishing. The fishing industry has been a big part of Esbjerg's history, and it has evolved so that today it's much more than just fishermen living in Esbjerg. There are also universities and other kinds of educations. So it's one of the biggest cities in Denmark. It has been the 5th biggest city in Denmark for a number of years. I think, depending on how you count it, it's now number 6, but still one of the bigger cities in this small country, let's be honest.
No, it's been a lovely place to walk around. It's very quiet, but it's also so incredibly clean and tidy, which I have to admit, as a man from the mean streets of South London, it's a very pleasant change. But back to the action here, Barry Van Peer lining up double 10 here. And he finds it, a 15 darter to lead 4-0. Very strong start to the Dutchman, bubbling just under the 100 average mark. Arola's not done a ton wrong. He's not really scored at the same level as Van Peer, and the legs where he hasn't taken those chances. But no, I think Esbjerg has been a fantastic host city. I think everyone's enjoyed themselves. We've got to see a little bit of the city in the evenings. Some lovely restaurants here, I can attest, where we've had our evening meals. But no, it's a wonderful city, and yeah, I very much enjoyed my experience at the football stadium last weekend.
And well, Esbjerg is in the western part of Denmark, and it's often a discussion that these kinds of tournaments should be held perhaps in Copenhagen or in the middle part of the country, but the Søgaard Denmark Open and Masters have been held in Esbjerg for, I think, the last 10 years or so. So it's the whole city now understands what darts is about. The infrastructure is there. It's not only the organization, the Danish Darts Union, it's the city as a whole who understands how to be host of these kinds of tournaments, and that's why we haven't seen the World Cup in Copenhagen, which a lot of people I know, especially here in Denmark, would have hoped to. But as you say, it's very much the impression I get as well, that people and all the players involved, they have been very happy to be here. But yeah, let's get back to the match here, as Barry Van Peer is very much in the driving seat. However, Arola here on his own throw with a treble here is much needed to not be in the potential situation of losing 6-0. That would be a shame, since Arola has been a very, very consistent player throughout the tournament. I think he deserves more than what we are seeing in this semi-final so far.
Yeah, this has been a bit of a down leg for Van Peer, but Arola really hasn't been able to punish him. A good catch there with the last dart leaves him on 71, but the way Berry's playing, you wouldn't bet against him taking out this 120. Needs to find the treble with his second dart. Pitch is a bit low, so he'll switch to the 16s. 64 if he gets the chance to come back, but he might not. Arola goes 13s to start. Single 18, one dart at tops. And he finds the double one. So back comes Barry van Peer to make it a 5-0 lead.
Triple 16 for double 8. Yeah, you can't really throw the darts any closer than that.
No. And here comes Arola. It goes for the double 19 straight away.
And is that a treble 3? I think it is, so that leaves double 5.
Just doing a bit of mental maths here. Yeah, pitch is too high, so Van Peer comes back here for the double 4. Yeah, and his kind of comeback from the dartitis, you notice there is that discernible quirk with Berry's right arm, his throwing arm, where you can tell that there's something there, but he's got his routine now of getting through it. And usually, it's only ever the first dart that's a problem. And second dart is perfect from there, pins the double 2. It's a 5-0 lead here. Game's running away from Arola because he now needs to win 6 legs on the spin to reach the final. But he's got to break Van Peer 3 times to level it up and force that bull off on the stage, which of course we saw in our last game between Dieter Hedman and Kirsi Vinnikainen.
Barry is another player who has won a tournament here in Denmark before, all the way back in 2014 when he played in the Denmark Open Youth Tournament. But if he goes all the way, this will be his first senior title in Denmark.
180, number 3 from the Dutchman. Looks like he's going to be on a good finish after 9 darts here, and Arola not able to apply the pressure required. So it looks like it's going to be the Dutchman.
That's just a perfect dart for Barry.
180, number 4 for the mercurial Dutchman. He's played marvellously well here, on for a 10 dart leg, and a deserved finalist. Very impressive performance from the Dutchman.
He is a player who obviously expects a lot of himself, and this would be a very, very good finish to the match.
And he finds it, a 12 dart leg for a 6-0 victory. Dominant from Barry van Peer. Not a lot Carlos Arola could do there. Van Peer was a cut above, and he moves into the final. It's going to be a tough man to beat, and we'll find out very soon who he'll be facing. Next semi-final is between Canada's Robbie Mills and Frank Bruns of Germany. Daniel and I will be here to guide you through that one, and we will see you all very soon.